Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World over here on the Broadway Podcast Network, iHeart, and Spotify. You know, I love myself a little bit of a New York City moment. Oh my goodness. And the House of McQueen. What are we talking about? What is this show? It is a full cast and creative team has been announced and it's coming to the mansion at Hudson Yard. And let me tell you, when it sounds fancy and when you hear the incredible cast of people that are in this is the night out that you need to have. This is it. If you're looking for something fun and unique to do in New York City with your loved ones, or take yourself on a date, or bring a friend, or this is it. This is it. Catherine, I'm trashy Jersey, y'all. I cannot do fancy, dancy New York actors, French lineage. Catherine LeFrere is here. Can you say it properly, please?
LeFrere, just LeFrere. LeFrere. I mean, I never use the French pronunciation, but you could say LeFrere, but it's just LeFrere. But everyone gets it wrong. I've heard everything.
Jersey, so I say, "Hey, yo, Catherine."
I'm from New York. My husband's from Jersey, so like Jersey strong over here. We love Jersey. We love Jersey.
Well, and Jersey, come out and see the show.
Come out, Jersey.
houseofmcqueen.com. So you started your performances. Opening night is September 9th.
Yes.
Tuesdays through Sundays are the shows over at the mansion at Hudson Yards on 37th Street. What is this show?
What is the show? This show is about the life of the late, great Alexander McQueen, the fashion designer, couture. It is a love letter to couture, and also just the playwright was saying the other day, I'm gonna steal her quote. She said, "I want everyone to know how hard beauty is." And that's what she wants people to walk out of here feeling. That's what she hopes people walk out of here feeling, just how hard beauty is. And, you know, genius is like, his real name was Lee McQueen, but as you'll see in the show, Isabella, actually my character, decided that his middle name, Alexander, was a better stage name for him. So we know him as Alexander McQueen, but his name was Lee McQueen. And, you know, he was really a genius. And the difference between him and maybe everybody else was that his runways, his fashion shows, they were performance art. They weren't just, yes, there were clothes and couture and beauty and things that weren't necessarily made to be worn, just to be shown. But it was really, I mean, he would do all kinds of bonkers things. Like there's a famous, one of his shows where he had a model come out in a big white dress and there was two robots, and the model turned and these two robots spray painted her with black paint. And then it was just this amazing design of black paint on this big white dress. And that was it. And then it was this creation, and his mind just saw things that the rest of us, you know, civilians don't see. And he was just quite brilliant. And now, having worked on the show for a few months now, just getting to know more about him, and he really just from a very early age he had this enormous talent. And so it's about his life. And my character, Isabella Blow, she really discovered him. I mean, at least in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's mind, she discovered him. He went to grad school in London, St. Martin's, and they had a grad show, like a showcase. And she went, I guess, to scout the new talent. And she just thought she thought he was a genius. And it was just the most beautiful thing she had ever seen in her life. And it was a show about Jack the Ripper. That was the theme of his show. So there were models coming out with like blood all over them. And there was a coat that was lined with human hair, just all kinds of crazy things that no one had ever done. And Isabella just thought that it was the most incredible thing she had ever seen. So she bought his entire collection for 5,000 euros that she paid off in installments over time. And she kind of helped create him. I mean, of course, his talent and all of that, of course, he helped him get where he was. But Isabella was really the first to be like, that one, he's got something. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Alexander McQueen. You know, people, you know, when you talk about the iconic style fashion icons that are out here in the world, then you put a show like this with, you know, that has a connection to his family. I know his nephew is a creative director in the show.
Gary.
Great creative team, an amazing cast. I mean, y'all are coming in hot over here.
It's an amazing cast. Everyone is super talented.
Super talented. And shout out to Luke Newton if you love Bridgerton.
Yes.
There is a Broadway superstar.
Yes.
You know, like you all are coming in with it hot and ready to go. Ticketmaster is where you can get your tickets. So my question for you is, when we go see it, what are we like? What are we? It's a traditional musical? Is the setting different?
Oh, it's not a musical at all. It's a
It's a play.
play. It's a play. Now, I will say there's a little dancing in it.
Okay.
I won't give you any spoilers, but there is a little fun dancing because he was big in the late 90s. He was big in like the gay club scene. And so there, there's some fun stuff that happens in this show that you're going to want to come check out. But there is little dancing, but it is not a musical. It is a play.
Right. So you're going to
Despite
see
a lot of people in the cast having musical theater backgrounds, it is a play. And it's a story in some ways of his life, and then in other ways, we jump back and forth in time. So there's a little fashion show elements, and then there's scenes that are just a play, and then there's costumes, of course, but there isn't couture in many of the scenes. My character, actually, the costume designer and I spoke early on, and our amazing costume designer Kay, she was saying how we're really going to tell the story of the clothes through Isabella, through my character. So I have like 8 or 9 costumes. Most of them were handmade. I mean, they're incredible. And so and each of them is, almost all of them is a copy of a real McQueen piece from one of his runway shows, and they are absolutely magnificent. People of course are like, are you going to wear real McQueen stuff? And I'm like, well, of course not, because I'm not a 6 foot tall model, so they wouldn't fit me. But second of all, couture isn't made to hold up. Like, couture is made to fall apart the second it gets off. It's not meant to be worn in 8 shows a week. It would never survive. So even if they allowed me to wear real McQueen, which they wouldn't, because it was in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, so they wouldn't allow me to wear it. They're making it like literally a copy of it, which they, I think you have to have permission from the company, the estate,
Right.
whatever. So they're magnificent, and I won't give any of that away, but there are apparently people who know, like, could see a piece and could name what runway show that piece is from. And so for those people, those kinds of fans, they'll be like, that's from Deliverance, that's from that's from La Dame Bleu. And so the fashion story will be told through my character, which I think is a really, really interesting choice. It's really incredible. And the rest is, the rest is a play. The rest is, we're telling a story about an imperfect person, who had struggles like everybody else, and had some wonderful elements of his life, and struggled to find love and things that are actually quite normal and quite human. And so, yeah, it's a new play, new plays are so hard. And, we're making changes every single day. We're making script changes. We're making lighting changes, sound changes. And so we have rehearsal every day before the previews. And so that's what is to expect. But if you see the show tonight and then you probably come back in 3 weeks, there will be all kinds of changes. So, which some people love. Some people love that.
I love it. I know a lot of people, when I hear people talk to me about shows, and they go opening preview, that they go after it's open so that they can see the changes and see the things that are going to be changing there. The House of McQueen is what we're talking about. You can get your tickets. And this is a brand new space. This is the first show that's going to be in this space.
It is. I'm not sure exactly what the space was used for before. I feel like trade shows. It's a really enormous space in Hudson Yards. And they've created a theater for us. They built a stage, they built a backstage, they built dressing rooms. So it's a space that wasn't initially created to be a theater, but now it is. And it would be great for us actors if it remained a theater off Broadway, because we could always use more off Broadway theaters. And actually, off Broadway is where it's at right now. There's so many interesting, with the Masquerade, and there's just so many really interesting kind of risk-taking projects that are happening off Broadway. I think more than there usually are this time of year. So that's really exciting, just as a New York City actor. That's really fun.
If you want to see new creative work, you got to go check out the off Broadway shows that are being done around this city. They are absolutely amazing, and they're going to see the most creative, new, fun, inventive work out here, and you got to go check it out. So for you people know you from a lot of television work. I mean, you've done a lot of theater, but like you have done a lot of television work. When did you decide that you wanted to be an actor? I know you went to Northwestern. I know you went to Steppenwolf. I know Bob Krakauer. I mean, everyone that's on television.
Everyone knows of Bob.
You want to book a TV gig, go get Bob to teach
study
you.
with Bob. Or one of his many, many, many lovely people that teach under his umbrella. They're all amazing. They're all my friends. And so I highly recommend.
Yes, absolutely.
But yes, I've been studying with Bob for almost like 17 years now. Long time. I won't say how old I am, but a while.
A while.
Ever
You know,
since I got out of school.
it's
I've known
funny.
Bob for a long time.
I'm a Esper grad. I'm a Meisner grad, conservatory kid in New York, and then everyone that graduates automatically gets on the list to go to Bob's classes and workshops so that they
That's amazing. I love
book
that.
TV. So when did you decide? What made you want to be an actor?
Well, I grew up in New York City, in Manhattan, and my mother, she likes to say I created this monster. She took me to every show off Broadway. I mean on Broadway and off Broadway. She took me to everything when I was a kid, and she signed me up for ballet classes and tap classes, and I don't think with any intention of me becoming an actor, but just so that I would, my grandparents also really loved the theater. My mother's parents were big fans of the theater, and I didn't know my maternal grandfather that well. He died when I was 4, but he apparently wanted to be an actor when he was younger. And it was the Great Depression, and then he actually fought in World War II, and he was in Europe, and he would go to the theater every night and the ballet, and he wasn't on the front lines. I think he had some sort of an office job, so he was like somewhat safe, but he would go to the theater every night, and he would send my grandmother handwritten letters of he would go to the opera. And so, he had, I won't say a great time, it was war, but he was experiencing all this great art. And so I was always told, my grandmother always said he wanted to be an actor. And so I like to think I'm getting to live the dream that he never got to live, just because of timing and circumstance and what the world was. But apparently he really loved the theater, and we would have had a great time together. And my grandmother was also, she was a painter, just as a hobby, but she was an amazing painter. And so I like to think that I was influenced and encouraged by them. And just growing up in New York, it's really hard to not have just exposure to this, but I always wanted to be an actor, always, from a very, very young age. And then I went to Northwestern and I did it more. And then there was a showcase at the end of my senior year, and they brought some of us to New York, and then I got representation through that. And then it's kind of just been, definitely some years are more of a struggle than others. And then COVID happened, and, so there was a theater break for a while. But yeah, all my life I've wanted to be an actor. I don't remember a day when I didn't want to be an actor.
And now you're back on
And
stage,
now I'm back
everybody.
on stage, which is so great. I'm so thrilled to be back on stage, because yes, I've done a lot of theater, and then I lived in LA for a while, and then I came back right before the pandemic, and then there was just like years of no theater at all, and then just the way it just kind of worked out was just a little more TV for a while, which was absolutely fine. But I'm happiest when I'm at the theater and I'm rehearsing and I'm backstage, and this is the theater's the love of my life, next to my husband and my daughter, of course.
Yes,
But the
of
theater
course.
is really, the theater is my great, great, great love.
Well, when we look at your resume, I mean, you could see stuff that some of the best theater spaces in New York City, like Signature and Theater Row and the Lortel and Symphony Space and all of these things. And then in television, if you're looking, yes, Only Murders in the Building and Law and Order and The Blacklist and Girls and all of these television shows. How do you handle? Well, firstly, you can't be a New York actor without a Law and Order credit. So
That's
check,
right.
Catherine,
That's
check.
right. I knew I finally made it when we got
You get that call that you booked the gig on Law and
It
Order.
was like, I think I must have auditioned maybe 40 or 50 times. It didn't happen right away. Got very close a few times, but then it finally happened, and it was the right role.
40 or 50 times. Young actors out
I
here.
mean, I'm maybe exaggerating, but I've made a lot of tapes for Law and Order. So yes, young actors, keep going.
Keep going. How do you approach something differently on stage versus showing up on set and getting it done?
Yeah, I mean, it's like apples and oranges. I mean, of course, acting is acting, and everyone has their own process, and you make choices, and you try to figure things out, and text analysis, and that's kind of all the same. But the camera is really, it's much smaller. It's really what's going on behind the eyes, and it's more minimalistic, and also you have to be aware of where the camera is. So you'll do your coverage, you'll do your co-stars coverage, and then you'll do a few wide shots maybe. And so that's extremely different. And so being aware of, are they doing a close-up shot? Are they further back? Like that informs your choices. And then the theater, of course, is it a small house? Is it a big house? Is it a musical? Is it a naturalistic play? Is it all different kinds of things? But it's 8 shows a week, which is incredibly hard on your body and your voice. And so you have to take really good care of yourself. And TV and film, those are long days, of course, but it's not, it's not a performance every single night or twice a day on the weekends, but it's exhausting in different ways. Both are extremely hard.
Right.
Both are extremely hard, extremely long hours. But I personally, I love having an audience. I love that's what the theater's all about. Hearing a laugh, hearing a sniffle, hearing just the audience breathing with you. Like, we learn so much as actors in these previews of like, where's a laugh going to be? Oh, I didn't know that was necessarily funny, but apparently it is. And that's the best part of it to me, is the relationship with the audience, just that give and take that you get, and that you obviously don't get on camera because there's a million people watching you on a screen. But
well,
so
you gotta check her out live and in person on stage. I'm sure you hear gasps and excitement when they see the clothes, when they hear the story.
I
You
hope
guys
so.
give the tea, this all-star cast that has a ton of theater and television and film credits, that you know them from all sorts of work, and it's something original and unique that you get to experience in New York City for the first time at the venue, and also this incredible new work.
Yeah, come see us.
Go get
We'd
it.
love to have you. Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a
I'm
good
excited.
time. There's like great pre-show music. There's multiple bars. Like, we didn't realize that it was just such a vibe in here.
And then I heard that you have there is a section of it, allegedly, I mean, according
Yes,
to the website, where there is artifacts and you
there
can
is.
see.
Actually, my dressing room actually looks over into the room where there's an exhibit of real McQueen pieces from, I believe, Highland Rape. I think Highland Rape, which was one of his shows. There's real pieces that they are currently putting on mannequins right as we speak. And there's a whole little exhibit. So if you come in, you actually will see real McQueen pieces that are not going to be worn by a human, but will be worn by mannequins. And I've just seen the beginnings of it, but it looks like it's going to be incredible. So you can go get a drink from the bar, and then you can go into this little exhibit while you wait for the show to start, and then the show starts. So it's really like an immersive experience, even though the play itself is not immersive.
This is a New York City night. This is why we love New York City, to
It
go see
is.
something like this and take in something like this. So you better go get your tickets. And we wish you the best. Break.
Thank
She's gonna
you.
go do a show, y'all. She's gonna
I
have
am
dinner.
tonight. I'm gonna go put all my stage makeup on. I wear a lot because she was an eccentric character, so I wear a lot of stage makeup. I'm gonna go get to work on that and maybe do a little pre-show warm up, and night three.
Night three. Go to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Break legs. Congratulations.
Thank you
This
so
is so
much. It
exciting.
was so
I
nice to
can't
meet
wait.
you.
So nice to meet you. I can't wait to check it out. I can't wait for
I
people
can't wait for you to come see it. Let us know.
You got it. I'll be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Have a great night.